Hello everybody. Okay, so today we are going to finish what we did yesterday, and we are going to do a love reading for the rest of the signs. Now, if the sign that you're looking for is not in this video, there's a video right before this on this channel that you can look up, and it'll be in those. The other one's Aries through Virgo, so this one, we're gonna try to get all the others done, but if we don't get to all of them, then we'll do as many as we can. I only have about 40 minutes again. Okay, so what love messages? Oh, okay. I do think that some of you are considering a new beginning or something of some kind. It could be after something is said. Maybe someone says something to you and you kind of consider a new beginning. I don't know that that's necessarily something that's going to happen for you, because it is, something that popped out, and the way it popped out, I just don't necessarily think that, love messages for Libra. That's it? Okay. So, oh wow, oh no, Libra, oh. Okay. Oh, okay, I like that. Interesting. Oh. Okay, well, very interesting. Okay, so we do have the Three of Swords, the Chariot, the Seven of Swords in reverse, Justice, and the Four of Wands. So I do think that some of you could be dealing with a third-party situation of some kind. You may feel heartbroken. You could be suffering a loss of some kind. Also, for others of you, like I said, it could be a third-party situation. You might have interest in a third party. It could be something like that. I think that something is going to happen quickly for you. I think it's going to move rather quickly. And we did have Eight of Wands was one of the cards that popped out when I was shuffling. So I do think that something could be said, and it could be a little bit of a surprise, and largely because of how quickly it moves. I do think that a lot of you are having a hard time walking away from something. I don't necessarily think that that means you should walk away from a person. Speaking of the heartbreak we also have the Four of Wands here in reverse. So I do think that a lot of you, for those of you who haven't had something traumatic happen or going to happen, a lot of you could just be sad because of remembering something from the past, kind of being hung up on something. And it could be leading you down, like weighing you down. Others of you, there could be something that happens in November. It could leave you heartbroken. You might meet someone new, and it's a little unexpected, and that could lead to some sadness because, sometimes things don't move as quickly as we would like them to. But I do think that what's meant to happen will happen. Like, I think that what happens, regardless of how you feel about it in the moment, you'll end up looking back on it and being like, okay, yeah, that's probably best that happened that way. Under the deck here, this is interesting as well. We have the Five of Wands, Eight of Swords, Seven of Cups in reverse, but we do have Seven of Pentacles. So I do think that November could be filled with a lot of arguments, a lot of fighting of some kind, or just like an emotional distance. I think that you're going to feel emotionally distant. I think though that a lot of it, and I know this isn't what you want to hear, well maybe some of you do want to hear this, I don't know. I think that it's a little bit self-imposed, and I think that, like, you see, she's tied up, but it's not that tight. Like, she can get out of this, and she's blindfolded, but she can, like, take it off. She's kind of a little bit in denial or so, I guess is what you could say. I think that a lot of you are overthinking something to, like, a pretty extreme level. And I think that it seems to me that, like, whatever path you've been on is going to continue to grow. Some of you, it could be that it grows into a positive direction by the end of the month. Let's see, let's get some more information about the Three of Swords. Okay, yeah, so a lot of you are going to need to move on from a situation, or A lot of you, it could be from, you know, something like I said currently happening, or it could be that a lot of you were hung up on something from the past, and this is what the overthinking and stuff could be, and the self-imposed restrictions. So a lot of you may need to move on from something, whether it's, you know, like I said, a thought, a hung up, like something like that. For sure, it could be something like that. Let's go ahead and draw these back in. Let's ask for some advice, and then we will get some oracle cards out. Advice for Libra and love for November. Okay. Oh, okay. So I think the advice really is I think you're going to need to, I keep getting the phrase liven up, if that makes sense. I think that a lot of you are going to have to awaken some, kind of maybe branch out and reach out of your comfort zone a little bit, is what I'm getting. Maybe also, I don't want to necessarily say the truth on something, because I don't think that you're lying about something or even trying to hide something. I just think maybe something needs said. I think that you should also really think about what you want and what's going to make you happy, what's going to, what is truly going to make you happy, I think is a really big question you should be asking yourself. And then of course here we have the Two of Cups. So I do think that it's going to be important to use a friendship or someone, get some advice from somebody. So what messages do you have for Libra for love for the month of November? Okay, so it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Nice. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And then under the deck here, we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal from the past, you experience more love in the present moments. Okay, so I hope that helped, Libra. Let's go ahead and move on in to Scorpio. So Scorpio, love messages for Scorpio for the month of November. I think that's the first time it's actually came out for a sign. We do have the Eight of Wands, so I do think that something may be said. You may have an action taken towards something. A lot of you could have been, I think a lot of you has been being interested in someone, and you might be saying it. Yeah, a lot of you have been really debating on whether you want to say something too, it looks like. But you haven't been putting in the work. You haven't been saying something. I think that you need to, though. Yeah, here we have again, it's, you know, romantic things being held back, something not being discussed. Some of you could be holding a secret of some kind. Maybe you're afraid that they are. Under the deck here, we have the Knight of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Five of Cups in reverse, and the Star. So a lot of you are really going to need to use your intuition as a guide to like when to do something, how to do something. A lot of you are really trying to decide right now, like, what should I do? Where should I go? What should I say? Is a lot of the things. And a lot of you are, some of you could have said something before and it didn't necessarily go as good as you wanted, and maybe that could be why. Others of you, you may have had something in the past, recently at least, whether that's someone passing away, whether it's a separation from someone romantically or a friend, something that you're sad about here, a loss of some kind, or it could be, like I said, that you've said something and it didn't go that good and now you're a little sad about it and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should say something again. I think that could be the case for a lot of you, and that could be why a lot of you aren't like saying something, because I definitely see that. So let's get some more why. Scorpio to say something. Yeah, so a lot of you are listening too much to someone, like what other people are saying. So, sometimes you listen to other people and they'll be like, oh, yeah, I think they like you. But, like, they don't have, like, I'm not saying that this is the case, but I've had situations like this, and this could be something that some of you are dealing with. You could be listening to people like, oh, yeah, I think they like you, but, like, they've actually given those signs and they're just saying that to make you feel better or something. I do think that some of you, if, you may need to consider, like, that could be a possibility, and you may have to, like, for some of you, it could be even too, just like when you stop trying, because it does seem like you have made an effort, but you aren't now, a lot of you. Or you at least feel like you've made an effort and it just didn't pan out the way you wanted. Anytime you've like made a move or whatever you'd want to call it. Okay, what is the advice you have for Scorpio for love in November? Okay, yeah. So also, really think about what you want. Think about what's going to make you happy. What have you been really wanting to happen here? And then say something about it. Like, I don't try to be that direct. I don't necessarily want to say, oh yeah, say something about it. Take this for what it is. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but I think that it does seem like they are also... It does seem like someone here is I almost get the vibe that for a lot of you, somebody could be seeming to be interested. Because how some people flirt with you without meaning to. That could be the case. They might be intentionally doing it because they like the attention they're getting from you. Others of you, maybe they are, or have, but it's not in a way you picked up. And it does seem like we've discussed before, like you could be disappointed in something. I do think that some kind of love message is being shielded in some way. I think that it does seem like something is being sugar-coated is the phrase I'm getting here. Someone's holding something close to their chest too. They're not sharing something. I wonder if, at least for some of you, if the person knows that you might be interested, but they're not interested, so they're not wanting to say anything. I'm not saying that, I'm not getting that for most of you. I'm just saying some of you that could be the case. Okay, let's go ahead and see what the Oracle cards have to say for Scorpio. Love messages for Scorpio for November. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. And calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, visualizations will help bring you together. So like I said, think about what you want. Think about what's really going to make you happy and go for it. But you also have something that you need to release here, it looks like. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on. I feel like this is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and see Sagittarius. Love messages for Sagittarius for November. Oh, wow. Okay. I wasn't, wow. Oh, okay. It's not time for something yet for you, Sagittarius. I also don't feel like someone's been putting in the effort into this either. I've been seeing readings recently of other people, and next month I might try it, where I do like a side of how you feel about the situation and a side of how they view the situation. I think that could be really helpful here, because what I'm wondering is like who's not putting in the work here. But this isn't the way the spread's laid out, so we can't answer that question. But one of you, if it's you or not, someone's not putting in the effort. Somebody's not really trying. Somebody is playing with fire, I feel like. Like, I almost like get the phrase like dancing with like a bunch of knives like around them and like they're gonna get cut kind of thing. Like, you know, dangerous like that, you know what I mean? I think though that something needs said. We do have the Justice card here. We have 8 of Pentacles in reverse, Justice, 8 of Swords, King of Cups, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I do think it's not time for something to happen yet. Even though I feel like you're ready for something to happen possibly. Well, ready to a point. I don't know if you're actually ready, but some of you feel like you're ready at least. Because sometimes you feel like you're ready and then like you're not. A lot of you are having, whoa, that's weird. A lot of you are having a hard time starting something new, a hard time kind of rebuilding things back up. A lot of you are like, I almost get like refusing to take time to really think about things, and you really need to. I do see a growth of some kind here. I do see some kind of happening, and I do see the 10 of Swords. So I do think that by the end of November, a lot of you will be letting something go. I don't think it'll be a person currently. It almost seems more like something in your past that's been on your mind a lot. Some of you, it could be somebody who, you know, like an unrequited love situation, but I don't get that for a lot of you. Under the deck here also, we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. So, yeah, I do think that something is going to be weighing heavy on your mind. A lot of, I think though with this like growth thing, I almost get like slow and steady. Like maybe, because we did get the, it's not time kind of message, and I do think that maybe let things ride in November, follow your intuition, try not to rock the boat too much or something, because I don't think November is time for the next step, or, you know, the Wheel of Fortune moment. I don't think it's time for that. I think it's time, or I can't say it'll be December even. Like, we'll find out in December, I guess, but advice for Sagittarius. What love advice do you have for Sagittarius for October? Okay, yeah, I think that it's, oh wow. Interesting. I never thought I would get that in this way. So we have the 4 of Pentacles, the Moon, the Star, and the Sun in reverse. So I think that a lot of you are going to need to kind of hold something close to your chest, to kind of keep something a little hush-hush. Like, let's say, for example, if you're interested in somebody, maybe it's not time to tell them you're interested. Maybe it's just time to, you know, be there for them in the way you have. Maybe you can be friends with them or something if that's relatable to you, or whatever it is. Keep things the way they are, but allow them to grow naturally too. Use your intuition though. Like, you really need to use your intuition here, because you need to be careful. Because obviously secrets and lies and stuff like that aren't good. But I do think that, like we discussed before, I don't think it's time for something. So that could be the case. And I think that a lot of you need to tone down how optimistic you are about it. Because I think your expectations are a little bit too high for this situation. I do see like a juggling act too. Like, you may have to juggle some things a little bit better possibly. Love messages for Sagittarius for the month of November. What love messages do you have for Sagittarius? Okay. Oh yeah, this is definitely, yeah, I can see this. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So we discussed that a lot throughout the reading, how, you know, it's not time, like, just let things progress naturally. We do also have codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. I think a lot of you could need that, because that could be the thing that really attracts them to you. I'm not saying that it will, I'm just saying it could, you know, that, oh, they're like really self-reliable, like they don't need someone, but like I want to be that someone for them. That could definitely be the case. And then under the deck here with 2, we have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So, very nice, Sagittarius. I actually really like that reading for you. I know that it's not the most positive thing in the world, but it could be so much worse. It looks pretty decent. Okay, so now we have Capricorn. Here, please give me love messages for Capricorn for the month of November. Oh, sometimes I just like, I get the message of like, okay, this is it, like right here, like this is it. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I haven't shuffled that much, but like, this is it. Okay. Okay. That's quite a bit of cards that wanted me to pull that time. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of cards that we have here, Capricorn. Okay, so I do think that a lot of you, I get some like intense overthinking here. But what you're overthinking about, I don't think is being shared. And I think that I don't know if this is you being unemotional. And I get the word conniving here. I should also say, I just want to say, especially with the court cards, I read a lot, largely intuitively. So don't come at me. That's not what the meaning of this card should be in this. Like, calm down. Anyways, I digress. So I do think that somebody, though, like I said, is overthinking something like to a pretty large amount. And I also think that somebody isn't thinking too clearly through something. It's interesting because there is somebody overthinking here, and I think that this is probably you overthinking, Capricorn. But somebody's acting recklessly here in this situation too. And by that I mean just like not really thinking about what they should do, just doing it, kind of living in the moment, which isn't necessarily bad. We do also have another card here that I'm getting, like someone here is not being very supportive. Somebody there is being a pretty bad friend or girlfriend, boyfriend, relationship partner, person thing. I do think that somebody's reminiscing on the good times of the past, but I think that they're sharing this. There's something that they're sharing, and it could be that because it's right next to each other. Something's being shared. It's just, I don't think that it's not helping anything, whatever is being shared here. Something's being overshared. But I do think also that somebody's also reminiscing too much on the past, because those two are next to each other, so that's interesting. It could be that that's what's being overshared. Those were all on top of the deck. These are all under the deck. So one of the things here, I do think that there could be some fights. Somebody could be unemotional because they're really starting to like be like, okay, like starting to think like, what do I really want? And they're like really starting to think like, okay, I need to go for my like what I really want and like go for my dreams. Because I think a lot of you may be like, okay, this isn't it. I do think that a lot of you though, I think that a lot of you have some unrealistic expectations of a relationship, like what you expect to happen in a relationship or what you want out of somebody just isn't happening. Not even that it's not possible, it's just not happening. And, you know, some of you may not be possible because, you know, I do think that somebody is thinking a lot about what's been said, thinking a lot about someone else's words, because, you know, sometimes someone will say something and they don't even realize it hurts you, but I think that that could be something that's happened here. We do have the Judgment card here also, so I do think that that might need to end up being discussed. We do have the Chariot under the deck here, so I think that there is going to be a moment in November at least, if not a lot of the month, that you're going to feel overwhelmed really, and that things are moving like really fast, but you also are going to feel like, I don't know what to do about it. Like, you're gonna kind of feel almost like, imagine, I don't want to necessarily say a tornado going around you, and you can't really control that obviously, because I don't think it'll be at that extreme, because that sounds really violent and stuff, but like, I think that could be along the general vibe, but not like that deep, like I said. Let's get some, oh, this card's like, interesting. I'm gonna have to get new tarot cards soon. These are like really old at this point. Let's get advice for Capricorn. Love advice for Capricorn for the month of November. I almost said January because that's like when a lot of your birthdays is, I think. I know that it's a lot of your birthdays. I was saying that's why I said, almost said January. Oh, wow. Some of you could have somebody else that you're interested in, and that could lead to a lot of it. I love that card being in this for you, Capricorn. Yeah, okay. I do think that a lot of you could go for what you want, because this is popping out again in your advice. I think that a lot of you really need to, like I said, think about what it is that you want. Go for, like, think about like what's really gonna make me happy, what's my hopes and dreams in this. A lot of you could be moving on from a situation to a better situation. A lot of you could just be like starting a new beginning with someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a new person. This is a great connection for you though. We have the Lovers come out. So I think that you have somebody in your life that's really good, or at least someone that has the possibility, because you control your own destiny. I think that a lot of you, this could be somebody that is from your past that you haven't let go of. Oh, that just like almost went flying off the table. That's weird. Also under the deck for your advice, we have the Temperance. So I think that a lot of you are really going to need to balance the elements here, kind of use your intuition, think about what needs to happen, and make sure you're playing carefully. Okay, so that's those. Let's see what oracle messages you have. Oracle messages for love for Capricorn for November. Getting to know each other, codependency, you deserve love, separation. This is such an interesting reading because it almost seems like there could be either a distance that you have with someone and then a connection to someone else, or a distance between someone and then you reconnect to them and like you grow closer again. A lot of you might just need to work on yourself a little bit too. I do think though towards the end of November you're going to have somebody, if you don't already have them in your life, that you have this really good connection with, and I love this connection for you. Interesting. You deserve love though. Getting to know each other. I really like that card for you. I just wonder why the separation card's here. Why is the separation card here? That was under the deck though. Okay. Yeah. Funny, Death in Reverse came out on top of it, so unable to get over something. Someone in a situation has been hung up on something that they just haven't been able to get over, and it's like causing friction there between you and someone, and that's no bueno. Okay. So, Aquarius. Love messages for Aquarius for the month of November. What love messages do you have for Aquarius for the month of November? Wow. This is like, it's interesting how we haven't gotten like the same cards really like word for every sign, but we have gotten like a lot of the like similar cards. Okay, so Aquarius. I do think that a lot of you could be contemplating starting a new journey. I almost think that a lot of you are holding yourself back though at the beginning of the month, because I feel like this is like a more of a progression type thing for you, because I think that you're kind of deciding what to do, overthinking it, and then I almost see a relationship here where like one person is like kind of into it and they have the feeling like, oh yeah, like I'm so good for you. I don't mean that in like a cocky way, but I just like a knight in shining armor type moment, like I think is how somebody is feeling in this relationship. But I do think that someone here isn't giving themselves fully, is being calculative. That's such a weird word to come to my mind. A lot of you are going to feel like nothing's happening at some point in November. You're going to be like, okay, like what's going on? Like, why is nothing happening here? I also think that there's going to be a lot of you who are in a situation to where somebody's using you for drugs, sex. Somebody could just be in like a lustful way or using you in some type of way. I don't think that, and I don't mean that like, because you know, it's like, let's say for example, there's two people in a relationship. I'm not saying that one of them in the relationship is using them. There could be like somebody else really close to them that's using them, but that, you know, this could pertain in a close arena to your love life if it's not somebody that you're interested in that's doing this. I just don't get a good vibe from this, honestly, Aquarius. It's very interesting. I think that a lot of you are also going to be, I mean, we already got overthinking, but I'm getting it again. We must get like taking too long for something. Also like thinking like what action should I take? But it's like someone who like has the ability to make an action, but they're not. We have the Chariot too, so something could move pretty quickly. But the worrisome part to me is it moving quickly and something being said and it leading to this Five of Wands moment, and that's not good. Because that's like a fight, an argument. I don't know. Honestly, this doesn't seem like the best month, Aquarius. I am sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Let's see what advice we have for you, Aquarius. Yeah, so I think that a lot of you are going to have to decide whether to move on or not. I think it's going to be a decision a lot of you make. I think a lot of you are going to be like, okay, I surrender. Like, I have fought long and hard for this. Well, it's almost more like it could go either way, really, because there is this decision of should I stay or should I go in a situation. And like I said, it might not be love. It could be something very close to love. Because someone is, I feel like, being used. And I know this is a general Aquarius reading, but I just hate this reading for you. I hate it. I'm sorry. I mean, I know you hate it too if this is happening to you, if you're one of the Aquarius that it's happening to. But like I said, it could be either like, I have fought long and hard for this, I earned this, I'm going to celebrate it now, I'm going to, you know, live in this moment. But also it could be that I have fought long and hard for this, I have earned the right to walk away, I am done, I surrender, I am victorious in the end though. I do think that a lot of you are also, something needs said. And a lot of you may not be at that point yet even. It may get to the point to where in the month at some point you're like, okay, yeah, something needs said now. I don't know who the hell that was. That's weird. I do think though that a lot of you also are going to need to cut the bullshit. And I don't necessarily mean that between you, but like something, like I said, something needs said, something needs discussed. Cause it's like just a sword cutting through a chain, like, and just the chain being free, like all that tension, like, you know, and then whatever way that goes. And you know, if it is a situation where someone's using you and you discuss it, like, I mean, yeah, you might lose that person, but also if they're using you, like, you don't need that person. We have the King of Pentacles also in your advice in reverse, so. Yeah. I mean, a lot of, I don't even know if I have Aquarius in my chart, but I'm glad I don't. If this is how I'm sorry. I think honestly, and I don't mean this in like a mean way, I don't mean this in like a braggy way, even though this isn't braggy, but like I think this is probably, it looks like probably the worst month for all of the signs so far. Unless I'm forgetting one, because I did some of them yesterday and I don't fully remember some of them now, but I feel like this is probably the worst. Love messages for Aquarius for the month of, yeah. Interesting. That's very possible. Okay, so we do have under the deck, or not under the deck, this is on top of the deck, for yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And it also says give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So for a lot of you, it could be worth working on it, talking about it. And maybe it's something that can be worked on, because some of you could have, you know, be in a longer term relationship. Some of you, you know, it could be discussed and you could, you know, salvage it. For sure, like, it doesn't have to be bad. That is an absolute truth. And if you don't talk about it, you don't know. Like, okay, you talk about it, and then you know then, like, you either save it and work on it with each other, or, you know, you can't make the other person want to try. Maybe they decide they don't want to try. So I think it's honestly best to talk about it, and then, you know. And like I said, I don't think that you're going to be at that point at the beginning of the month. So you may, you know, be at that point at some point in the month and then say something. Okay, so let's see. Love messages for Pisces for the month of November. Oh. I think that a lot of you are going to feel like you need to defend your relationship constantly for some reason. I really felt like I needed to say that. Okay, yeah. I think that a lot of you, I think a lot of you are going to feel pretty positive about something going on in your love life. I think I see a good connection, kind of. But I don't think it's a connection that's being fully discussed. I think there's something that's like not being fully talked about it. And I don't mean that in a bad way either. That can be absolutely good. A lot of you are going to feel like you put a lot of effort into something, but you don't really know if it's been worth it or not. And I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way either, but sometimes you're like, wow, I put a lot into this, like, is this going to last? And I don't mean that as in it's not going to or something, but that's a thought that goes through our mind sometimes, and it's human, like, it's fine. I do think that somebody is going to act on something. I don't even know what that means for you personally. Take that for what you will. That's like the message that the card is giving me. 4 of Cups in reverse. I do think that someone is going to feel like, okay, this is a little stale, like, where are we going with this? Like, what's going on? I don't really know what to do. But at the same time, like I said, I do think you're going to feel positive about it. I just think that you may have, you know, some moments here or there where you're like, okay, this is a little boring. I'm not sure. And, you know, we kind of discussed that too. But I do think that it's a good connection. And I think that after this is discussed, because I do think that something's going to be discussed, and I do think that somebody's going to be very logical in the way they discuss it, and I love that. And I also love that we have the Lovers card here. I see this great connection. I just think something needs discussed with it, honestly. And I think it might be this boredom, or like, okay, like, is this going to be worth it? Because, you know, some of you may need to decide, like, you know, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. Are we going to be able to make it through this? Like, maybe you can know something's coming in the future, because maybe you know one of you is going to move soon or something. You're like, okay, you know, can we make it through this long distance? Like, there's so many things that could happen. I think that somebody's not listening to their intuition on something, though. Like, they kind of know something. I do think that there's this great growth, this great, new beginning for a lot of you, or like a regrowth, a rebirth for a lot of you. Take this where it applies. I think that, you know, this could be a great month for pregnancy, really. I mean, because we do have the Empress here, and it's next to the Lovers. It's right by the Sun in my spread here. I absolutely think it could relate to pregnancy. If that's, you know, like I said, changeable for you, I guess. Let's get some advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. Ooh. Advice for Pisces. You know, it may not be the time for something. It may not be time for something to complete its cycle. It may not be time, like, if you're feeling bored of something, you just know, like, maybe give it some time. I also think that you're going to be thinking a lot, or maybe you need to think a lot about your emotions. Like, how do you feel? How are you feeling? You know, think about that. I think that I love this connection. We have the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords here. I think that there is a great connection between you and somebody. I think that should be valued. But also, you know, you need to make sure that you're both happy, and you need to make sure that it's going to work for both of you also. I mean, you can have a great connection with somebody. You can have, like, a love of your life type moment, and it just not be the time. I'm not saying that's the case for you. I'm just saying, you know, things like that are possible. We also have the Ace of Wands. I think something's going to need to be said at some point. I think someone's not really sharing something. And I don't mean that in like a secretive or a bad way. I don't think it's intentional either. I think it's just something that needs to be discussed at some point. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse here as well. So very possible. Yeah, I think somebody could be thinking, oh, where did that even go? That's weird that, like, the way that came out to me. I think that somebody could be thinking too much about something and it lead to sadness. And, you know, that's why things need to be discussed. If something's making you sad, it needs to be discussed, because there's no way to address it then. And the way for it to be fixed is by talking about it. And if it's not talked about, like, yeah, you can worry, like, if I say this, am I going to lose them? But, like, and you know what I mean? It might be time to say something. But at the end of the day, though, if something's making you sad, you need to say it, because the only way they can fix it is if you say it. But be careful in the way you say it. Of course, always, you know, be sensible and, like, caring. Love messages for Pisces. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate, and new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Now, for some of you, this may not be literally a new person. It could be a rebirth or a regrowth. And this is a great connection. I think this is probably maybe the best reading we've had for a sign, and I love this for you, Pisces. I hope that it feels as good to you as it looks like it's going to be. Sometimes, you know, for me personally in the moment, sometimes something isn't as good as it actually, or it doesn't, you know, you feel as good as it actually is. You're gonna, like, you know, you don't appreciate it for what it is until later. You know, that's normal too. It's always funny sometimes because I record readings, I do readings for myself occasionally, and I'll record it, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't really know, like, I don't know how much I'm relating to this right now. But then I watch it after the fact, and then sometimes I'll look back on it later on, like down the road, like a month later or something, and I'm like, oh, like, wow, like, yeah, that's definitely, because, you know, like a moment like, oh, you're going to, like, what happens is meant to be, like, you know, in the end, you'll be satisfied with the outcome, and sometimes you're like, what the fuck, no, like, I'm not happy about the way this turned out, but, like, anyways, I digress. This is the reading for all of the signs. The rest of them, I should say, like I said, the others are in the first part, so that is on this channel as well. With the next time I am on a video, on a computer, I will post the timestamps. So check that out, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.